further in the pattern instructions, they talk about leaving an extra 3 inches. So for a blouse. So I'm going to just add that on, and I'm going to add it on each side actually, because I'm going to have a placket too. So I'll just then take the placket out of that. And for the actual dress, this is just the mock-up. Cut it out of the front material, cut it with an extra 3 inches. And I've been studying Elvis's sleeves, just in case there might be a one-piece sleeve, but I think they were pretty well, likely all, well, I don't know about all of them because he had a lot of suits, but from what I could see so far, I'm going to go with a 2-piece sleeve, and I found a cuff that will suit. Oh, what's this? It's a good strip. It doesn't have to be full length because there's going to be a V-neck, so this neckline will be cut away. About 10 inches here, and I think I might just use all of it. I guess I cut a little more length than I needed, but it'll be there then. Hi, Deli. Okay, I'm going to draft some sleeves here for the Lady Elvis bodice. Maybe some cuffs to go on the end of them. His cuffs were included in the sleeve, I think. Maybe I would attach them on the mock-up or do a few different and just kind of base them on and see how they look. But really, it's a fairly straightforward and I think it might be better to try more directly to just get that shape. And I have seen it in fashion plates. It's pretty well the same cuff as Elvis had on his suit, so maybe I could find a different source that has it more exactly. K is the closest, or at least one that I will try in the mock-up. And they talk about, I mean, it would need have some reinforcement here for the buttons and that. So that would make it sturdier, because this is pretty loose looking. And Elvis's, of course, were seem more durably tailored. But I mean, that's okay. I mean, they don't have to be exactly like his, though I have seen some fashion plates that look remarkably like, which have the cuff remarkably like his, but maybe even more stylized. Okay, so they have two sleeves. They have, one's a wider one for outer garments, and then a second for dresses and suits, and I think I'll go with the narrower one, which is figure 34. Where's my pencil? Waist length. Okay, we're going up here, down. Y. Okay, 3.5, 7, and 8.5 scale of width. So the scale of width is divided into equal units of measure based on these measurements, and that can vary for each person. So each of these is equal measure, and that's considered 1 unit. So using that, now you want 3.5 to mark off at the top line for the width. 3.5, 7, and I think they said 8.5. So they mark the first two with the width measurement. They say those first two measurements are for the sleeves are always measured with the scale of width. 2.5 and 4.5. And then they just measure in inches. 12, 21.5, and 23. Oh, that's Dell's favorite tool. G1 and a half. 23. You take this over here, Dell. Go play. And those points are always measured in inches, they say. Finish the drawing of cross lines as in the diagram. Oh, yes. Drawing the lines across for from these points of measure. It's probably wide enough, but still, we'll just go ahead to the end of the I guess C is at the 23, so we were pretty close. So. a lot of it is just marking points and drawing curves in. And I mean, I assume they're using French curves. I don't know. They don't mention. But so far, all these shapes I've got has been just from them saying draw a curve from here to there. And that's an inch in from the 4.5, so that's okay. But the K is down here somewhere. T to K is parallel to O to 12. So I would say then that means you just go straight down from T. And it kind of goes dot, 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 dot. So this is K. Here. An elbow curve, slight. If you know where K is, that's here. This is L. It's very efficient. I think I was following the other, the wider sleeve pattern, which didn't then really explain these points. Through L, and then to here, and then that's how you get this length from D, because it just cuts through the line. Dotted lines here for these, because it's very straight and a point, then sorry, they start there like that, and then for the heavy line, because you want to have a slight curve in your elbow, so they just then draw in a little curve here. Pretty slight. I'd say about there. Okay, that makes sense. So this is very easy to draft when you've already got the measurements are already contained in the scale of width and length, so then you don't have to be doing the math because the math's already kind of been done. And A, how did they get A? Inch above the intersection of 3.5 and 2.5. Oh, it's somewhere in here. Now what did you do? You put your foot right on that. You monkey. You need a job, do ya? She says, I have a job lighting. So if you're going in that direction, then if you're going to go through that point, then I can see that that kind of looks like you'd end up here. I'll use that for now. This is K. Okay. Let's go find something else. Down. She's got the thing scrolling through the book. Come on, here. Where are we? Here we are. I'm gonna put it in there. Okay, careful. The best sense I can make of that one. And it looks like it matches the diagram. Alright. Looks about right. You kind of got to do both, because there's stuff that they meant leave out on the 34, and if you're only looking for figure 34 instructions, you're going to miss halfway between 3.5 and 7, which is 4 and is that a quarter? Yeah, 4.25 inches. So halfway between that is 2 and half of a quarter of an inch is here. So that's B. Connect with curve A, B, C, and R. Yes, which they show in figure 33, but I'm not sure they tell you how they get A, B, C, and R. I know we have A, we have B. What about C? Okay, C seems to be the intersection of 7 and 4.5. C. And R, I think, is in here somewhere. And there's also an S. Okay, so then they do a curve, and the highest point of that curve is a quarter inch and out away from this dotted line. But then I think it goes down through B. I don't know. I wonder if they're using a special tool for these things. Or they're just because they know what kind of shape they want to make. I think that was kind of would be R then. Irish has arrived, and this is what I've got for the sleeve drafting. 1917 Parisian Ladies Tailor for the Lady Elvis project. Can you move over, Irish, please? Thank you. Upper sleeve and under sleeve. All done drafting for tonight, Deli? Yep.